The quokka is one of the most unique and charming animals in the world. Known as the happiest animal on Earth, the quokka has captured the hearts of people everywhere with its adorable smile and friendly appearance. This small marsupial lives mainly in southwestern Australia, especially on Rottnest Island near Perth. Although it looks like a small kangaroo, the quokka has its own special features and habits that make it stand out among other animals. Learning about the quokka gives us a window into Australia's fascinating wildlife and its connection to both history and modern culture. The quokka, whose scientific name is Cetonix brachyurus, belongs to the macropod family. The macropod family also includes kangaroos and wallabies. The word macropod means big foot, which is fitting because these animals have strong back legs and large feet that help them hop. Quokkas are one of the smallest members of this family. They are about the size of a domestic cat, usually between 40 and 54 centimeters long, and their tails are about 25 to 30 centimeters long. They weigh between 2.5 and 5 kilograms. Quokkas have short brown-gray fur, rounded ears, a small black nose, and a face that often looks like it is smiling. This cheerful look is one of the main reasons why people love them so much. Quokkas are native to a small part of southwestern Australia. Most of them live on Rottnest Island, which is located about 18 kilometers off the coast of Perth. Another smaller group can be found on Bald Island near Albany. A few quokkas also live in small, isolated groups on the mainland of Western Australia. Though they are much rarer there, these animals prefer to live in areas with thick vegetation, such as dense shrubs and forests. The thick plants give them shelter from the sun and from predators. Quokkas often build small tunnels or paths through the grass and bushes to move around safely. They like areas where they can find plenty of food and shade because the Australian climate can be very hot and dry. The history of the quokka's discovery is very interesting and goes back several centuries. The first people to know about quokkas were the Nguongar people, who are the Aboriginal people of southwestern Australia. They had lived with quokkas for thousands of years and called them Quokka, which is where the animal's modern name comes from. Quokkas were a natural part of the environment and also part of the Noongar people's traditional stories and culture. European explorers first saw quokkas in the 1600s. In 1658, Dutch sailors mentioned small animals on islands off the Australian coast, but they did not describe them in detail. In 1696, a Dutch explorer named Willem de Vlaming visited the island that is now known as Rottnest Island. When he saw the quokkas running around, he thought they were large rats. Because of that mistake, he named the island Rottnest, which means rat's nest in Dutch. Of course, these animals were not rats at all, but small marsupials. Still, the name remained, and Rottnest Island is now famous as the main home of the quokka. Quokkas are nocturnal animals, which means they are most active at night. During the daytime, they rest in cool, shady spots to avoid the heat. At night, they come out to search for food and to move around their territory. They are herbivores, which means they only eat plants. Their diet mostly consists of leaves, grasses, stems, and bark. They can survive for long periods without drinking water because they get most of their moisture from the plants they eat. This helps them live in dry areas where water sources are limited. Quokkas are social animals that often live in small groups, especially in areas where food and shelter are abundant. However, they do not form very strict groups or hierarchies like some animals do. They are generally peaceful and can share space with other quokkas without much fighting. Sometimes, several quokkas can be seen feeding close to each other, grooming themselves, or resting under the same bushes. They use scent markings and soft sounds to communicate with each other. Because they are used to seeing people on Rottnest Island, Quokkas there have become quite friendly and curious around humans, though they are still wild animals. Like kangaroos, quokkas move by hopping on their strong back legs. Their long hind legs and muscular tails help them balance and move quickly through their environment. Although they are small, they are surprisingly agile. They can also climb low trees and shrubs if they need to reach food or escape from danger. Their fur blends well with the dry vegetation, which helps them hide from predators such as snakes, birds of prey, and introduced animals like cats and foxes. Quokkas are known for their clever survival strategies. One of their most famous and somewhat shocking behaviors happens when a mother quokka feels threatened. If a predator attacks, the mother may drop her joey, baby, from her pouch. The baby makes noise and moves around, which distracts the predator and gives the mother time to escape. This may sound harsh, but it's a natural defense mechanism that helps ensure the adult can survive and have more offspring later. Quokkas have a fascinating way of reproducing, similar to other marsupials like kangaroos and wallabies. Female quokkas usually give birth to one baby, called a joey, each year. The breeding season generally occurs between January and March, though it can vary depending on the weather and food supply. The baby quokka is born very tiny and underdeveloped. Right after birth, it crawls into its mother's pouch, where it continues to grow and develop for several months. The pouch is a safe and warm place for the baby, where it can feed on its mother's milk and stay protected. One interesting feature of quokka reproduction is something called embryonic diapause. This means that the female can pause the development of a fertilized embryo until the current joey has left the pouch or until environmental conditions are better. This special ability helps quokkas manage their population during tough times, like droughts, when food is scarce. When the conditions improve, the female's body allows the embryo to continue developing, and another joey is born. This is one of nature's amazing ways to help animals adapt to their environment. What truly made quokkas famous around the world is their adorable, smiling face. Their mouth naturally curves upwards, giving them the appearance of being happy all the time. Because of this, people started calling them the happiest animal on Earth. This friendly look and curious behavior have made them a favorite subject for tourists visiting Rottnest Island. Visitors often take photos called quokka selfies, where they pose with the animal's charming smile. Even though quokkas look friendly, it's important to remember that they are wild animals. They should never be touched, fed, or disturbed. Feeding them human food can make them sick, and touching them can stress them out or spread disease. On Rottnest Island, there are strict rules that protect quokkas, and anyone caught feeding or handling them can be fined. The best way to enjoy quokkas is to watch them respectfully from a short distance and let them live naturally. Australia is known for its dry climate and harsh conditions, so animals there must adapt to survive. The quokka has many features that help it live comfortably in such an environment. One major adaptation is its ability to go without water for long periods. Because its diet is made up mostly of plants that contain moisture, it does not need to drink much. Quokkas also rest during the heat of the day and move around at night when it's cooler. Their thick fur provides protection against the sun and also helps keep them warm on cool nights. Another adaptation is their ability to live in small home ranges. Quokkas don't need to travel far to find food and shelter, which helps them conserve energy. They are also good at finding food sources that last through different seasons. On Rottnest Island, for example, they have learned to eat different types of vegetation depending on what's available. This flexibility helps them survive even when the environment changes. Over time, the quokka has become an important symbol of Australian wildlife and tourism. On Rottnest Island, thousands of visitors travel every year just to see these smiling animals. The local economy benefits from quokka-related tourism, and the island has become famous worldwide because of them. Many people come to learn about quokkas, take photos, and experience the island's natural beauty. The attention has also encouraged people to appreciate Australia's unique animals and the need to protect them. However, the relationship between humans and quokkas must remain respectful. When humans disturb wildlife, it can change their behavior and make them dependent on unnatural food sources. That's why education is an important part of visiting Rottnest Island. Signs around the island remind people to keep a safe distance, not to feed the animals, and to enjoy watching them in their natural habitat. Quokkas are also important to scientists who study marsupials. Their reproduction system, especially the ability to delay embryo development, helps researchers understand how marsupials survive in challenging environments. Quokkas are sometimes called a model species for studying the ecology of small macropods because they live in both island and mainland environments. Studying them helps scientists learn how animals adapt to limited resources and changing climates. Culturally, quokkas have been a part of the Aboriginal Noongar people's traditions for centuries. They appear in dreaming stories, which are ancient tales that explain the creation of the world and the connection between people, animals, and nature. In modern times, the quokka has also become a symbol of joy, friendliness, and Australian identity. Its image appears on souvenirs, tourism campaigns, and even internet memes, making it one of the most beloved animals in the world. There are many fun and surprising facts about quokkas that make them even more interesting. For example, quokkas can climb low trees and shrubs, which is unusual for animals in their family. They have strong hind legs that let them jump short distances quickly. Quokkas communicate using quiet sounds, body language, and scent marking. They have sharp teeth that are perfect for chewing tough plant material. When threatened, they often hop away quickly and hide in thick bushes, where predators cannot reach them. Another fun fact is that quokkas are naturally curious. They often approach new objects or people out of interest rather than fear. This curiosity has made them easy to photograph, but it also means they rely on people to act responsibly. They are gentle and peaceful by nature, and watching them move gracefully through their environment is a reminder of how special Australia's wildlife truly is. The quokka is a small animal with a big personality. From its discovery by early explorers to its modern fame as the happiest animal on Earth, the quokka has fascinated people for centuries. It represents not only the beauty and uniqueness of Australia's wildlife, but also the importance of living in harmony with nature. Quokkas are a reminder that even the smallest creatures can bring great joy to the world. With their bright eyes, gentle nature, and famous smile, quokkas continue to inspire people everywhere to care for animals and the environment they live in.